Howdy folks, it's Lanso90 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program, where I've named the rocket Kaylee-1, or that might be, I don't know how you would say it, Salai-1. Anyway, it's Latin for air, because we're just going to say, this one, it might not even make it out of the atmosphere, so we're going to call it air. Let's save it, and launch it. Because again, I just eyeball stuff. I don't know if we need 100% thrust, but it is a heavier boy compared to the other stuff we've been launching. Let's see what it can do. At least it has tons of parachutes, so if things go wrong. Okay, it's not enough thrust. It's not enough thrust. That's okay. We recovered 100% of it. Let's try 100% thrust. Knew it was heavy. I didn't know it was going to be that heavy. It's a bit absurd. There you go. Dang. Oh dear. Oops, probably should have just recovered it when I saw it wasn't taking off, but that's okay. Not reverts. This was an honest failure on my part. I wonder if we need tweak scale just so we can reduce the size of some of these parts. Let's see, we have the three-way splitter. Oh, this is really weird. The part selection it's given us is strange because they don't really work together. They gave us all these single-sized engines, and then they gave us normal-sized fuel tanks, which is just very odd. So I think I'm going to grab tweak scale. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Tweak scale is installed. It needed other mods to make it work also, so hopefully everything works okay. Let's go ahead and open up Salai 1. We will add to the notes here. Failed spectacularly. There you go. We're going to try to keep like a history of what happened here. I think that'll be fun. Okay. Just screwed with the wrong man, game. You just screwed with the wrong man. Guess frickin' what? Yep, slapping this on here. Slapping these fuel tanks on here. Or, do I want to do fuel tanks, or do I want to try to get this up on boosters? Yeah, I don't really want to. It feels like it would definitely be cheating to just increase the scale of one of these, but it doesn't feel like cheating. You know what? I didn't realize we had the flea. The flea is actually nearly proper. Scale up, please. There you go. That's what we're looking for. That's what I wanted the whole time. All right. It's very weird that this is a very strange selection of parts it gave us. Now, I bet you don't need your full thrust. It's gonna be, see, second space probe attempt. You need at least 3 minutes. All right. Sailai 2. This is a test launch. This is technically... This is a computer simulation until it actually takes off. If I say beforehand it's computer simulation, it's computer simulation because I just don't know. There's no real way for me to tell if changing the max thrust on something will work or not until I see it in action. That looks fairly decent, though. That is weird. What is that? It'd be one thing if I knew what that was, but it's like... It's not always just like the gas particle effect. It's just like... Just random boxes on things sometimes. Is it bad enough to change? I don't know. Like, certainly feels dumb, but... Now, the biggest challenge with your first space probe is that it's actually a little harder than like a few probes in, because your first launch, it's probably not going to go orbital. And when you're not orbital, you actually come in like a lot hotter when you're trying to take it back down. I think we needed 4 fins because our fins are kind of spiraling us strangely here. Trouble spinning it back into space. Oh, we're very much into space. We actually might make it to orbit. And it's gonna spin here because it doesn't really have enough. Doesn't quite have the SAS strength to actually stay on track that well. Bit silly. Yeah, I've made it into space though. Serve the mystery gill. Lock temperature. Lock pressure. Should be no pressure because we're in space. That is weird. Why is that there, man? Kind of very annoying more than anything. This probe might not have any control, actually. That might be why. Oh, no, it lets you turn on SAS, so surely it has control. Maybe not. All right, so once we get to Apple apps, we need to burn prograde. I mean, these are moving as if it has the ability to control. I think I need Kerbal Engineer or something too, so I can see on screen when we're getting close to peri-apps. Or apo-apps, I suppose. It's been a while. This dang thing. Spiraling out of control. Oh. Well. I forgot that works. When you time accelerate, it stops spinning. Oh. You're in trouble now, game. I don't want this thing to actually achieve orbit right now because we didn't grab the objective to achieve orbit. We might be able to go to the Space Center and get it, actually. Oh. It might not make it. We'll see. But at least getting it to a point where it's gonna take a much less steep descent through the atmosphere will help quite a bit. It is gonna land on the night side though, which is not ideal for something with such little electric charge. I don't think it's gonna get to orbit. It might. It's very close. Not quite. It was close though. If I hadn't gone as high up as I did, because I went too high on accident, I think it would have made it. All right, we'll turn off SAS though, because that'll drain our batteries even quicker. Oh, you know what? Gonna deploy our parachute because we're not gonna be able to send commands here soon. You know what? This thing doesn't have any heat shield. It's not gonna make it back. Which means, you know what? God, that's not very much power. And back this. Wish I knew how much power this is gonna take to do. Yeah, I forgot about the fact this doesn't have any heat shield. Well, even though I put a parachute on it, which should be more than enough for such a small little thing, it's yeah, it's just gonna blow up. It's okay. Total oversight by me. Send back a little bit of science. And the other pieces of it should have recovered because they have parachutes and we have the stage recovery mod. And it blew up at 38,000 meters. Let's go back to the Space Center. There we go. Test the radial decoupler splash down at Kerbin. And orbit Kerbin. Ooh, a heat shield. That's exactly what we need, but we're out of space for missions. We could probably do this real quick. Just launch our little piddlywink spaceship that's manned. Calais 2. First probe to make it to space. Success. Burned up on re-entry. I don't know how to spell entry. There we go. Success. Burned up on re-entry. There you go. Steam. Oh, I don't need that. Okay. I should have saved our little piddlywink rocket for human spaceflight. It's actually... Don't save. That's just because I moved it a little bit. I want R&D or do I want something else? I think we just want more R&D. Enhanced survivability, those drogue chutes. Oh, they're the good stuff. Small re-entry pod. Cheap, they're crude, they get the job done most of the time. So it's a Soviet-based re-entry module. I don't know if you're supposed to like eject from this. Like in real life, they had to eject from this pod with a parachute. I guess we can unlock these as well. Just they only cost one, so why not? Wings. Okay. Entry pod is definitely on the to-do list, though. But for now, Mark 1 cockpit. So you can have a much bigger parachute now. I don't think there's any point to have science on you, but there's a radial decoupler you're supposed to test. To slap 2 on just for the weight symmetry. I know how to do it. Now these need to be tested, which is different than activating them, annoyingly enough. I don't even know if these parachutes will have a chance to deploy. They'll probably hit the ground before they get to deploy, but we'll add them nonetheless. Yeah, they could just be super last. This doesn't need to be named. Crew. We'll just rotate between Jebediah and Valentina. Which is a test vehicle, so I'm not even gonna name it. Do I have some smaller winglets now? These are still the smallest winglets I've got, unfortunately. They just add so much more control. Early game, you really got to have these. Later, you get some strong SAS and stuff, and you don't need the winglets. But for now, they're pretty dope. Time we want to be a little bit more careful about actually getting some horizontal movement here. Probably a little under thrust, but should be okay. I don't know what the heck that is, man. Just, I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Is having the purple box more annoying than having like beautiful scenery and stuff? Think about it, it's very small compared to a ton of gain, so in my opinion we can probably live with it. So we can get a crew report while flying. We actually didn't know oh, it's over water, so it's different. So now we'll just follow our trajectory until it gets to about where we're not going upwards anymore, and then we'll deploy our parachutes. And then be very careful to not press not deploy these radial things because they have to be tested, not deployed. All right. There we go. I think it actually has some pretty strong control to it. I think it's because it's an airplane cockpit, so it has more control than it needs for something like this. Okay. Messages. Yeah, don't show me those again. All right. XL parachute should be plenty. I didn't check when it deploys. 1,000. Okay. I hope it's enough. We're going pretty quick. Ooh, that's a lot of G-forces. That's why I like a drogue chute, but I didn't really feel like we needed a drogue chute for this. 5 meters per second is actually pretty quick. Kind of lame XL parachute, not gonna lie. I think it'll be enough, but the speed difference between like surviving and dying is pretty small, actually. Like 4, I would consider see what the heck is that? It just fell off. Like 4, I definitely consider safe. 10 is like definitely gonna die. So anywhere between that is like, I don't know. Test. Activate the part through the staging sequence. Okay, well, that time, now it activates through the staging sequence. In the past, that's not how it worked. You had to click test and it was different than actually decoupling. Okay, there you go. That's what we're going for. Good thing I had 2, because I almost messed up. That would have been embarrassing. Science, that was mostly just for money, though. Solid booster. Avoided for launching with a solid booster at 10% of ship math. $16 points. I thought that was going to be enough to get like the cheap thing there, but it was not. Well, we're out of time for this episode. In the next one, we need to get to orbit. We'll probably try to do that with a probe. Yeah, for safety. But until next time, hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, keep the conversation going in the comments and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Until next time, I hope you have a good day.